6 years before the hardest season of my life, I had a dream that I simply did not understand. And 2 weeks after that season ended, I finally understood what it was trying to show me all along. And it wasn't just explaining the season to me, it was showing me that the decisions that I made throughout that season were exactly the right ones. There were many dreams that I had on August 28th of 2020, but this one in particular, I want to hone in on because the message is so universal. Then I'm holding someone's baby on a front porch in the next yard. 4 young adults, 2 male, 2 female, in a light blue 4-door car are trying to go a certain direction, and they have to turn around, but they can't get going in the right direction. They end up going forward instead of in reverse, and they keep jolting the car towards Misty, literally at her legs, almost running her over, jolting, I think, 3 times. She is yelling out, and I'm terrified for her. I want to run out and stop them, but I can't without endangering the baby I'm holding. They finally get the car in reverse and get turned around and drive off as if they don't care. They nearly ran her over. As they get turned around and leave, Tim comes out to the yard to yell at them and protect Misty, but they're already leaving at this point. If you followed my channel for a while, you have heard of Misty. I have an entire video about my Misty season, essentially where I did pattern recognition on every dream that my friend Misty showed up in and was able to identify that when she shows up in a dream, she is representative of my Misty season, meaning a season where I can't see very far, but it's still very beautiful. Now, this is one of those Misty dreams that we're diving into today. But before we get started, I want to talk to those that are new here. My name is Nicole, and I'm a firm believer that your dreams at night are decoding your future. I live it every single day. These dreams come alive as the seasons come to pass. If this conversation resonates with you, please hit the like button and subscribe, so you know when new videos come out and you tell the algorithms that people like you like content like this. Now, let's dig into the key symbol of this dream, and that's the baby. I'm not holding a burden. I am holding a future. I am holding a destiny, and it is not just mine. Do you catch that? I'm saying that I am holding someone's baby. That's important. Babies tend to represent a future, a calling, something that you're birthing, something that you're caring for. And what's really important in this dream is it's not one of my babies I'm holding, it is someone's baby. That shows an even greater importance. We protect our children, but when you have the care of someone else's child, you're even more vigilant. I'm holding something that is important to others. Now that we've established what this baby is and why it's important, we need to look at the 4 people in the vehicle. Notice what they aren't. They aren't villains. They aren't an enemy. They aren't someone intentionally coming to attack. It's 2 men and 2 women, 4 people total, that are essentially just trying to get their own heads, their own lives turned around in the right direction. And I love that it uses 2 men and 2 women and 4, because 4 can sometimes be like 4 squares of a box, or you've heard the terms like don't be square. It's showing commonality. It's showing that it's not pointing at one direct person, but an archetype of challenges that I faced during that Misty season. I also love the color of the car, which really plays also into the 2 men and the 2 women who are doing the driving. And it's because a light blue can often represent someone's natural self, someone's natural mindset. And it's essentially establishing that this archetype is just people naturally trying to get themselves turned around in the right direction at a season where while they're doing that, not maliciously, but just in human nature, they almost take Misty out. And here's the heart of the emotion for me in the dream. I want to intervene. I feel somewhat powerless and concerned. Like, shouldn't I do something? Shouldn't I rush in there and save or protect Misty or get those people turned in the right direction, or even just tell them, hey, what you're doing, you're going to hurt her? But I couldn't do that. Why couldn't I do that? Because I am holding this baby. And that is more important. That is more precious. My responsibility in this dream is different. Oftentimes in a dream, it can show you a fork in a road that you have to make a decision. But this dream doesn't do that for me. It tells me exactly what I should do. It doesn't give me the option. Should I go protect Misty, or should I go get these people turned around? It chooses for me. It says, you protect the baby. Because if I ran out there, then I'm endangering what I'm holding. Woo! Do you see that? Like, I'm putting something of greater value in danger. Now, you ready to hear about how this played out? How I finally recognized it was showing me that first year in widowhood? It is because I made decisions when I first became a widow that were abnormal, to say the least. I knew deep down inside of me that not just exploring, but going full tilt into digital media was where I was supposed to go. That does not mean I had all the answers. That doesn't mean I knew with 100% certainty I was right. But here's what I did know. Intuitively, inside, the path was clear. This is the way to go. Walk in it. Now, naturally, other people who also walked out this last year of loss in their lives and their different ways and trying to get their lives turned around and oriented in the right direction after a tragedy like that, in very understandable ways, pushed back. They were concerned. They were concerned for me. They were concerned for my boys. They were concerned with conventional wisdom that it appeared I was lacking. And that's understandable. They were pushing back not because they were against me. It's because they were trying to make sense of life and this situation through their own lens. They weren't trying to ruin my Misty season. They were just trying to navigate theirs. And I was navigating mine. And it was not, and this is what ended up happening. This is what I ended up walking out. I had to just stand my ground, that even though I couldn't give all the answers as to how I knew A and B was going to equal C or lead to C or the end result, I had to just keep holding on to my promise. I had to stand still. I had to hold tight onto the promise that I knew was mine to care for, despite the scary situations or words that were potentially going to take me out during the Misty season. And it shows this happening 3 times. So it's reflecting that it is a repeated danger of being pushed off track or having my strength taken out from under me. That's why it nearly hit her legs. Legs can be strength. So unintentionally, the archetype of the people in this light blue car many times over this Misty season nearly took out the strength of what the Misty season was giving to me. And that's okay. Because here's the beauty at the end of the dream. No one ended up having to come to save me. I stood my ground. I stood still. Sometimes that's all you can do is just, you've done all you know to do. You've prepared in every way you can. You have taken all the steps you're supposed to, and sometimes you just stand. Looking back now, what I love most about this dream is that it never required me to defend my season. It never required me to convince anyone. It never required me to correct opinions. It never required me to explain every decision. Instead, it showed me holding something precious. And it showed me staying focused on protecting that. And guess what? The people eventually got turned around. Misty wasn't hit. The promise remained safe. And even though I couldn't see it at the time, the dream already knew that everything was going to be okay. If you made it through to the end of this episode, thank you. The time you choose to spend with me really means a lot. And if you would like help with your own dreams, I have a free community for that. I also have one-on-one sessions you can sign up for. Just see the links below. And if not, just come on back and see me here, because you know what? Your story really does matter. I'll see you next time.